Hi, my name is Daniel Cranton. This is my YouTube channel. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave a comment in the comment section. Now, there's a reason why many had doubts when Arsenal were brilliant at the start of the season. And 50 points after the first half of the season, the first 19 games. That is the highest points they've ever racked in Premier League history at this stage. They were looking fantastic. Now in the second half of the season, they've now dropped 5 points from their last 2 games. A loss against Everton last week, and then today a 1-1 draw at home against Brentford. And for me, I think it's beginning to show how difficult it will be for Arsenal to win the league. And I pointed down on how lean their squad looks like. These days we can almost, in fact this season, we can almost predict the starting 11 Arteta is going to use. And it's not because they are miles ahead or they are the best players in the league, but it's basically because those on the bench cannot necessarily come in and provide a proper fight. When you look at, especially in terms of the attacking options, now Gabriel Jesus is injured, that's a bit different, but that also highlights how lean their squad is. If you compare the strength and depth of the Arsenal squad as against what Manchester City has, what Chelsea has, you can tell that Arsenal and Arteta did a very good job in getting the best out of the very small squad that he has. Let's look at last week and today. What happened? We're looking at a team that is playing, and you can tell that clearly they lack something on the pitch, so he needs to look onto the bench. And then he brings on Trossard, a brilliant signing from the January transfer window. Trossard comes in, he scores. Now what again? They concede. But that is just not taking for them. And you look at the introduction of Fabio Vieira, who still hasn't settled yet into the Premier League. In fact, he's hardly had starts and opportunities in the Premier League because he's still yet to settle. And when you look at some of the key positions that they have, there's just not enough bite in there in terms of the second option or the third option and what they can bring to the party. It's a bit difficult when you look at it from an Arsenal point of view. When you play with the same group of players, the same starting 11 over and over and over and over and over again, not just physical fatigue, but mental fatigue also gets in. And that's when you need quality on the bench to be able to refresh things when things are not going well. You should be able to have, when you're a championship manager or you're a manager that is at the top or gunning for the championship, you should be able to have the luxury of rotating your squad sometimes and still being confident that the guys you've rotated will be able to come out and give you the result. And that's the luxury that Manchester City has. And because of Pep Guardiola's squad. We saw a couple of weeks ago when he benched Kevin De Bruyne against Tottenham Hotspur. They were still able to come back from 2-0 down to win 4-2. That's the sort of firepower that we are talking about. And you can't situate it to just Manchester City. It is just how the Premier League has become. You can't use Liverpool this season as an example, but if you go back last season, 2 seasons ago, yes, there was a front 3 that came to the party when Klopp came around with Salah, Mane, Firmino. But the introduction of Diogo Jota, you look at Shaqiri at a point, you look at Ruben Diaz at a point, Diaz who's coming for Liverpool. He was still able to shuffle, and that quality added to what he already had in his team. And that meant that he would call on his bench to change games for him. He could go into games switching up what people expected. So instead of going with your Salah, Mane and Firmino, he could decide to switch it up, but still maintain the same level of quality. And that is where the Premier League has reached. You really can't win it if you don't have strength in depth. And that's why I fear for Arsenal. Because you are looking at Eddie Nketiah today who is struggling. And because Gabriel Jesus is injured, they literally have just 2 players in that position. There's nobody who can come off the bench to come and offer something different. And that becomes very difficult. And you always need to plan a season knowing that you will not have your ideal situation where everybody is fit. And when you have the financial muscle of a club like Arsenal, you should be able to make room for some of these things. And that's why I feel like they don't have. So Arsenal are really right now just 1 or 2 injuries or 2 players having poor form away from slipping out of this title race. And it's going to be very difficult for them. as you said, nobody really imagined Arsenal dropping 5 points in 2 games, and especially to the opposition they were facing. Nobody says Brentford at home is going to be easy, but you expect Arsenal to win. Yes, you know that Brentford will put up a fight, but especially when Arsenal takes the lead, you expect them to go on and win. But that doesn't happen. When you look at the scale of the game and how the game panned out, Brentford could have won the game. This one may say Arsenal could have won the game. When you look at the clarity of chances that Brentford had, they were much clearer opportunities. Yes, Arsenal dominated possession. Arsenal, in terms of quantity, created more chances. But I'm talking about clarity of opportunities, how clear-cut the opportunities were. And Brentford could have won the game. And that is not something that you would have expected to see, let's say, 4 weeks ago, a month ago, about this Arsenal team. So you can see that mental fatigue is setting in. And when it's setting in at this time, just at the beginning of February, you know that physical fatigue will also set in when the Europa League starts. When the season wears on, it's going to be extremely difficult for Arsenal. And when you compare that to what Manchester City has, it's really, you really start asking yourself if Arsenal will be able to hold on. Because as it stands, in terms of tactics, you can't blame Arteta. But in terms of managing the situation and managing the transfer window, that's why Arsenal had a brilliant transfer window. But when you compare it to what Manchester City already have, then it just makes you fear for Arsenal. But I think Manchester City's game against Aston Villa will be a huge one to see if Arsenal have really dropped points, because that's what we saw last week when Arsenal lost against Everton. We all thought Man City would go to Tottenham Hotspur and win and then let the pressure be on. But fortunately for Arsenal, they went on to lose. So Arsenal fans need to hold their breath. And when Manchester City takes on Unai Emery tomorrow, that's Aston Villa. And then Wednesday, that big one at the Emirates. Hopefully Arsenal will be able to get what they need to be able to beat Manchester City, although I think that will be extremely tough. Let me hear what you Arsenal fans have to think in the comment section. I'd love to know your thoughts.